What if I told you you can build $1 million business and you can do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? Well, that's exactly what we're doing. Hold on really quick. Let's make sure we get Insty on here. Let's get Insty on here. Come on, Insty. Give me the green light. Give me the green light. There we go. Go live, go live, go live, go live, go live, go live. Bam, win a thing, win a thing. Welcome back, game changers. Welcome back, hustlers. Welcome to another edition of Building $1 Million Business, right? And already we're on episode 33. So we're moving quite quickly. If you're just now joining, thank you for joining. Welcome back. What are we doing? Why are you here? We're building $1 million playbook and we're doing it in public. Each and every day, I'm taking you behind the scenes to show you the conversations that I'm having, to help you understand some of the communication that's going on, helping you get insight into the challenges that every business owner goes through when we're scaling our business from $0 in revenue to $1 million, and we're doing it in 12 months. So this is not, listen, this is not fancy stuff. This is not anything that anybody can't do. This is real life decisions that we go through. But I'm showing you exactly what I'm doing. I'm opening up the playbook. I'm making it crystal clear so you too can copy the same playbook, the same framework to build your $1 million platform. All right. So let me pause really quick because I know this early on, a lot of people like to join. Let's talk about where we're joining from. Today, we're going to be streaming on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, as well as, what am I missing? Facebook. I said, oh, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok. What am I missing? LinkedIn. I'd say LinkedIn. Oh, and Instagram. I can't forget Instagram. Instagram families. So everybody's there. Look, house rules right here. Drop your first name. Let your boy know you in the house. Just your first name, what platform you're streaming from. I say welcome and thank you for joining each and every time because I can only grow with you. I can already see some people popping in on Insta. I see you, family. Thank you for showing love. I see my YouTube family. Thank you for showing love. My LinkedIn family always shows up for me. So I appreciate the hustle. Thank you, family. My TikTok family is fairly new, but I see you showing love. So I appreciate the family. And then my Facebook group, I call those the silent watchers. They watch in silent, but there's more watch time on Facebook for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but I appreciate the love anyway. What are we talking about today? Well, the obvious thing is we're building $1 million growth system, right? But today is episode 33. That means there's 32 additional episodes that already been pre-recorded. Go back and check those out. I created a YouTube playlist called Building $1 Million Business, okay? So the other 32 episodes, they're already there. You can go back and watch them. Each episode is only 30 minutes long. They're action-packed. I guarantee in every episode, you're going to walk away with a process, a system, a framework, or a thought process that's going to drive your business forward, right? So check that out. The other thing, we got 2 goals. I'm going to run through the goals really quick, and then we're going to get into the agenda. I got 2 goals. One, the obvious part is we gotta build $1 million playbook. Like I have to generate $1 million in revenue this year just to prove to you and myself that it's possible, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is we're building a 50,000 subscriber ecosystem within my newsletter. So if you haven't signed up for that newsletter, sign up for that today. And already in a short period of time, we're over 6,000. So that thing has been growing. But we have 10 months left to get 10 months and some change, 10 months and a week to get to 50,000. So it's going to be a journey, but it's possible. And this is what we're breaking down exactly how we're going to do that. The frameworks, the conversations, the systems, everything is revealed to you throughout this year to show you too the playbook and the strategy to grow your $1 million wealth system. So today is episode 33. Welcome and thank you, family. Thank you for joining the ride. My call to action here. If you got like-minded individuals like you who's always thinking about hustle, who's always thinking about the next step of their journey, who's always thinking about creating career wealth or personal wealth for themselves, who's thinking about leaving behind a legacy, you're in the right place. Invite other people like-minded like you to join me each and every day, Monday through Friday, at noon Central Standard Time. They're only 30-minute segments, and I guarantee you every single time you're going to walk away with some type of insight that's going to help you drive your business growth here in 2026. So really quick before I get into the agenda, drop your first name, what platform you're streaming from. I say thank you and welcome. But the other thing, to invite other people as well. So today is episode 33, and we're talking about where I have to invest next. Like if I'm serious about growth, this decision that I make this week, today, that can be life or death for my particular business, right? This decision is going to shape this next 6 months of my potential growth, right? So I'm going to ask you a question early on. I'm going to need your help solving this particular problem. Like this is a real problem that I have today. Like no sugarcoating this. I have money that I need to invest, and I'm going to give you 3 examples where I need to invest them. You tell me where I'm going to invest that money that's going to drive the biggest growth. But before you tell me, One, let me tell you what the problem is. Two, let me give you some insight into the benefit of each and every problem that I have. And then you can evaluate for yourself where I should invest this money, right? So we're building $1 million business, right? So thank you for joining. Invite other people as well. Let's do this. Let's get right into it. I can't hold this any longer. You know I like to talk. I'm only got 25 minutes. There's a lot to go through. So let's hit this thing hot and heavy, okay? I got a little capital right now, right? So that means I got a little bit of money that I can play with. I can spend. I'm like, okay, you know, you get that little money in your pocket, you ready to spend it. It's kind of like if you ever broke a $20 bill, like that $20 bill is gone the minute you break it, right? So now I got some money. I'm getting ready to break this $20 bill, right? So I got a little capital, already got traction with my business, and I got momentum. So all of this coming together. But what I don't have, but I understand this, I can't do everything at once, right? So today I'm breaking down three real investments that I can make today, and whichever one I choose is going to shape the next 3 to 6 months of my business, either for better or for worse. So I'm going to need your help on this one, family. This one, you need to understand this. This is not a content brainstorm. This is not where I'm at. I don't need you to help me brainstorm content because that's not where I'm at. This is capital allocation. Where am I going to allocate this money that I got in my pocket that needs to go into my business, right? So when we're small, understand this. Whenever you're small, entrepreneur, business owner, when you're small, your effort is going to drive your growth. We realize that, right? The more effort I put into it, the more likely I can get lucky and grow my business, right? So when you're small, it gets like that. But when you start generating revenue, when the money starts coming in, every decision that we make as a business owner is going to determine how big and how fast we grow at this point, right? So we need to understand that. So every dollar I deploy at this particular moment is either going to do one of three things. It's either going to accelerate my authority. Two, it's either going to increase conversions, or is going to expand my capacity, right? And if I pick wrong, I don't just lose money in this instance, I lose momentum. And I'm not trying to lose the momentum that we've already gained. So let me pause really quick and I'm going to get into my three options. Thank you, family, for joining. Today, we're streaming on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, as well as YouTube. Drop your first name. Show your boy some love. I can show you some love in return. What are we doing? We're building $1 million business, and we're doing it in 12 months. Today, we're talking about where I need to invest money if I'm serious about my particular growth. I'm about to hit you with the three options because I'm going to need your help, all right? So here are my three options right here, all right? Listen, pay attention. I got three clear options right here. One, I'm either going to invest in YouTube. The other one's going to be a landing page, or three, I'm going to invest in a consultant. So I'm going to be asking you, if this was your business, where would you invest money? Okay, let me give you the rundown because I already know you want to get in the chat box and say, well, let's tell you invest here. Let me give you the pros and cons to each one, and then you tell me, because I'm going to give you the price points too. Then you tell me where I should invest this money, okay? So here's my situation currently today. I'm growing like many small business owners. I did something funky with my camera over here. You know, I got these fancy cameras that be tracking me everywhere I go. I just want to make sure that camera's still tracking me, okay? Let me look on this other picture. It's still tracking me? Okay, it's tracking me. You can see me. All right, so here's where I'm at. I have my situation. I'm growing, but I'm capped. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday. We'll talk about exactly my situation right here. So here's where I'm at. I just kicked off the offline version of the newsletter January the 11th. And already I have over 1.5 thousand monthly viewers, right? We only kicked it off a month ago. But the offline version, it already has 1.5 thousand monthly, and it's really approaching like 1.6. I'm just rounding it down for you guys. It's already 1.5 thousand monthly viewers. We kicked it off a month ago. So strong signals right there. Between LinkedIn online version of the newsletter and then my offline version of the newsletter, collectively, I got over 6,000 active newsletter subscribers, right? So this is where I'm at. I'm giving you where I'm at. Then I'm going to tell you, the problems that I have, right? I have multiple products that are live today, right? Which is great. I have sponsorship revenue that's been coming in basically since week 2. So that's been pretty phenomenal. Meaning these are ad sponsors that want to run ads on the newsletter so they can generate some exposure and I generate revenue in return, right? So I got that going on. My DM-based sales are happening, meaning I'm sliding in people's DMs, right? And people are sliding in mine. So the conversations are taking place. That's being phenomenal. Like at this point, this is not hypothetical. The business truly is working, right? It's growing. We proved that point. But I'm also realizing that I'm the bottleneck. What does that mean? What does that mean? You may too find yourself in this situation, right? So help me out. Stick with me right here. Right now, this is what I'm doing. And maybe you're doing the same. I'm creating content. I'm editing content. I'm posting content. I'm selling stuff, right? I'm selling it online. A lot of this is manual. I'm responding to people's DMs, and when people slide into my inbox, like I'm analyzing all the analytics, right? And I'm jumping from multiple different places. One is my CRM, the other is going to be in my newsletter site, the other is on LinkedIn. I'm looking at all these different multiple analytical numbers, right? Then I'm planning, like, what's my next content? What's my next talking point? What's the next angle? How is this, it meets the additional talking points I've been having. So all that is going on, right? So the real question is, it isn't, does this work? I know it's been working. The proof points, the signals, the retention, the landing pages, the time on the websites, the collaboration with other creators and stuff, all of that has been going phenomenal, right? So I know it works, but now I need to know, where does the additional capital create the biggest multiplier for me at this stage in my business, right? And we're going to talk about those three strategies. We talked about YouTube, the landing page, or having a consultant that's going to help me out with my capacity. So I know this much, right? I know that growth happens in stages, and you may know this information too. Stage one is always about proving your demand. Well, we've done that. We've proved our demand. Stage two is going to be optimizing our conversions, right? Now we haven't really done that. Stage three is going to be expanding our distribution. That's why we're streaming across multiple channels, because we want to expand our distribution, but there's another level to expansion that we haven't fulfilled yet. And then stage four is scaling our systems. We know we can't grow internally, or we can't grow externally until we start growing internally. So scaling our systems is going to be a multiplier as well. So I got these three things that I'm at. Here's the tricky part though. And you may find yourself here as a small business owner, entrepreneur, business leader, whatever. Here's the tricky part. I'm sitting between stages. What does that mean? Each option right now represents a different stage focus for me. Like if I invested in YouTube, it's going to mean expanding my distribution center. Like, y'all know the value of YouTube, but if I invested in YouTube, I'm going to expand my distribution. But if I invest in a landing page, I'm going to optimize my conversions, right? If I land on the landing page, I'm going to optimize conversion. But what if I hire a consultant? Like, you know what the consultant is going to do? The consultant is going to help me scale my systems. So that's three different angles. Only got X amount of dollars. Like my check-ins and savings don't be checking and saving like everybody else is checking and saving. I can only choose one of the three of these things. And I know what you're thinking. Why can't you choose all three? Like if you really about that life, because most business owners, you can't choose all three. Like we don't have money like that. We have to make one important decision that's going to determine our growth over the next 3 to 6 months. So this is where I'm at. I got YouTube, I got a landing page, or I have a consultant. Let me give you the insight to each one of them and also tell you about the investment. And then you can help me make a business decision. Basically, it's our business decision because you're going to watch me either succeed or fail based off of the information that you provide to me. So number one, let's talk about YouTube really quick. I can invest in a YouTube coach. Now, if you're growing any kind of business, right, and you don't have great knowledge, I always encourage people to invest in a coach. I shared with you some episodes before. I invested in an Instagram coach. I just kicked that thing off this week. So I haven't dropped anything new on Instagram, but I do have a coach for Instagram that's going to help me grow my Instagram account, right? So I have that already. That's money that I already dropped for that. Now I'm thinking about my next distribution. Maybe it's YouTube. I can get a YouTube coach. But if I get a YouTube coach, you know what that also going to mean? That means I'm also going to need an editor. So let's talk about this right now. YouTube is an authority play, right? Right now, I have about 30,000 followers there on YouTube. And I already got content there, right? I got content, but it's not optimized. So right now, YouTube is under leveraged for me as a business owner. We know visibility could potentially lead to your growth. I have 30,000 followers. I got content, but none of it is optimized, meaning it's not growing. It's under leveraged. So here's what that means to me as a business owner. If I invest in YouTube, I'm going to need a YouTube coach, but the YouTube coach is going to help me understand the algorithm behavior. They're going to help me with retention psychology. They're going to help me with my thumbnail strategy. They're going to help me with my title optimizations. They're going to help me with my content positioning. But also, if I get a coach for YouTube, I'm also going to need an editor. You can't do one without the other unless you're going to start doing all this content yourself, right? We're trying to get away from that. We're growing $1 million system. So eventually we have to get ourselves out from being unstuck and rely on the people that can do the things quicker than us so we can free up more of our time so we can do money or revenue generated activities, right? So if I get the YouTube coach, I'm also going to have to get the editor. What is the value the editor is going to bring to me? Well, the video editor, they're going to increase my retention on the site. They're going to improve my pacing. So that means, how long viewers stay on the site because it's pacing, like commercial breaks and things like that. Then the other thing too is they're going to It'll elevate my production quality, meaning I'm not doing it. I'm decent, but I'm not great. Like that's not my specialty is being an editor, right? So if I get an editor, it can increase my production quality. And then it also, lastly, is going to free up my time, right? Here's the thing though, YouTube compounds differently than other platforms. Maybe you guys know this, maybe you don't, maybe I'm breaking news. So here's breaking news. Videos rank in search on YouTube for years, which is phenomenal. Strong videos become your traffic assets, right? Your long form videos, they build trust at scale. Your short term videos, they build attention, right? Your long form videos, they build authority, meaning you're an authority in that particular space. We all want to be authorities in our space, but authority also monetizes easily. So if we get the money right, if we get becoming an authority in our space, then the money can start flowing right? So here's the numbers really quick. Let me share it with you. If YouTube starts driving me, like sharing with me, if YouTube helps me out with like 500 new subscribers per month, and let's just use an average of $50 value per subscriber, right? Each subscriber is worth $50, right? Then here's the numbers here. This is where you're going to get excited, but here's the numbers. That's $25,000 a month potential in downstream value, $25,000 a month. And I know what you're already thinking. Invest in YouTube, invest in YouTube. You ain't ever heard the other two options yet. Calm down, calm down. There's two other options. You need to understand the framework behind each one of these. So here's the deal. YouTube, though, is slow. It's very slow. So if I invest in a coach and I invest in an editor, it's going to take me 90 days just to get meaningful traffic, like 90 days just to get basic traffic if I invest in a coach on YouTube. It's going to take me 6 months before everything starts. I start seeing serious compounding, right? And then all in all, if I invested in a coach today, I might as well expect it's going to take me a year before I become dominant in my particular space. So yes, I can invest in YouTube, but the long-term game is going to take me a year. So basically, this is delayed gratification investing, right? Here's the risk. YouTube is going to cost me somewhere between $4,000 to $9,000 just over 3 months at a minimal lift. Just at a minimal lift, it's going to cost me $4,000 to $9,000 just for a 3-month investment for a minimal lift. But what's the ROI? Well, I get sharper messaging, I get better content structure, I get platform mastery. And then one thing that I know for sure, even if I fail in my attempt, I'm going to get increased strategic knowledge, right? We should always be thinking of that as a business owner. When you try something, if you fail, that just means you learn from it. That's not failure. It just took us a moment to learn from it, right? So YouTube is going to be the high upside, medium risk, but a long timeline. So I want you to think about that. $4,000 to $9,000 just for the 3-month investment, right? Let's talk about option two. Option two is going to be my custom landing page plus my funnel, right? So option one is YouTube. Option two is my custom landing page and my funnel. Y'all let me know, okay? Here it goes. So this is option two, the landing page is the funnel. This is the optimization play. So right now, I'll just share with you 1.5 thousand visitors per month. We just kicked it off January the 11th. So that's pretty amazing so far. And let's say I convert 2% of my subscribers to paying customers, right? That's about 28 conversions for that 1.5 thousand viewers. That's 28 conversions. If a high converting landing page increases that conversion to 5%, then it's going to take my conversions to 70, right? So that's 42 additional conversions per month. Like and again, using that same average, $50 a month. So if the average is $50 a month per new subscriber, that's $2,100 a month in additional revenue. So if we're doing the math on that, 2,100 times 12, it's right about $25,000 annually that I should expect from optimizing my profile. And that's only with the traffic that I have today. We also know we're doing these lives, we're sharing on social media, we're creating other content, we're creating funnels. We know that this is going to build to 50,000 subscribers. So that can amplify exponentially pretty fast. But only with the 1,500 that I have today, right? That's $25,000 in additional dollars a month, right? If the traffic stayed the same. So I can double traffic, but my funnel's still weak. Right. So I'm thinking about that. I can double traffic, but my funnel is still weak. And that just means, you know what that means? That just means I'm scaling inefficiently. And if you're a business owner, nobody wants to scale inefficiently. I want to scale efficiently. So conversion optimization is often, it's the highest ROI move for early stage founders, okay, or brands, because I consider myself a brand. Additionally, a real funnel, you know what the real funnel is going to include for me? If I get a real funnel, it's going to include clear positioning, social proofing, objection handling, structured upsells, automated follow-ups. Like, it's not just a prettier website, it's engineered persuasion. This is what like a successful landing page. It takes your customers on a journey, persuades them to a specific call to action, and then the end result results in a particular sale for your business, right? But here's the timeline. If I do a custom landing page and a funnel, it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks to build. And then right after that, I probably should start seeing some immediate results. So let's talk about the risk. The risk is low at first. It's highly trackable. I can track and see where the analytics is going. I can see the return on investment. I also get a fast feedback loop because I know who I'm working with. And I can see, well, I say it like this. I see this as a defensive growth, right? Because strengthening the foundation before expansion, it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense, right? And the cost on that, did I share with you the cost on that? The cost on that is probably going to be around, 5 to 6 grand. Excuse me, 5 to 6 grand to do something like that. Let me give you option 3. Time check. I got 10 minutes. Okay, we're good. We're going really quick. Let me pause really quick because I get to see more and more people coming in. Listen, thank you, family. You know your boy like to talk. What are we doing? We're building $1 million platform. We're doing it in 12 months. This is February the 25th, 2026, right? And we're growing this thing. We're growing this thing from scratch. $0 from the beginning. And we're already at over 6,000 subscribers. We're growing it to 50,000. So I invite you to sign up for the newsletter. If you haven't, sign up for the newsletter. There's multiple different ways. I got QR codes. I got floating banners. I got the link in the bio. You want to do that. Then the other thing, invite other like-minded individuals like yourself to join us every Monday through Friday. There are 30 minutes episodes. They're only noon Central Standard Time, right? And then if you're new here, we're on episode 33. We're talking about where to invest money, but there's 32 additional episodes. You can go to my YouTube playlist. I made a playlist. Go back and check those out. Every single episode is with tons of insight to help you too grow your particular business. Okay. So let's talk about option 3, and then I need your help right here. Okay. So option 3 is I can hire a consultant. Now, there's tons of value with hiring a consultant because it's going to expand my capacity. It's going to offload some of the things that I've been doing and allow me to focus on money, revenue generating activities, right? So right now I'm capped because I'm doing everything. I'm just like any other business owner. You're starting from scratch. You start doing everything. I'm doing everything. And I mentioned everything that I'm doing, right? But if I hired somebody like a consultant, man, they can audit my systems. They can build my SOPs. They can identify automation gaps. They can help delegate some of the tasks that I'm working with. They can restructure some of these broken workflows that I have. And at this point, that can be like meta level growth. We're talking about like Facebook level growth if I hire the right person and they do it right. It's going to directly increase my traffic. The other thing too is if I hire a consultant, and I need your help with this, but if I hire a consultant, this is how I'm looking at it. I can gain an additional 10 hours week back of my time, right? 10 hours a week back of my time. That's 40 hours a month, right? So here's the thing. If I use that time wisely, I can close probably one additional client valued at $3,000 or greater. That's $36,000 a year just from hiring one more client if I invested in a consultant. So think about this, right? It can also, like with that free time, I can build more higher ticket offers, right? So even more, let's be real. The ROI at this point is going to depend on me because you can have free time. Like I can use my free time to scroll and it's not going to do anything. I can use my free time to waste my time and it's not going to do anything. Or I can use my time to build something of value. That could potentially create an explosion for my business to help me reach $1 million faster. Here's the investment though. Hiring a consultant is probably going to take me somewhere between $2,000 to $5,000 a month or over the next 3 months. All right. Collectively, it's probably going to take me somewhere between $2,000 to $5,000 a month over 3 months. So that means I would probably invest to get a consultant somewhere between $6,000 to $15,000 just to have a consultant on my team to free up my time. So the risk here is I have a high dependency on that consultant to make sure they're doing what the hell they're supposed to be doing, right? If the consultant isn't sharp, though, if they're not sharp, if it's not the right tool in the toolkit, I'm going to burn capital. I'm going to waste my money. So that's one of the risks that comes along with hiring a consultant. But the upside, Pat, talk to me. What's the upside? Man, we're talking about structural transformation. Like my broken business system right now could truly transform the way I communicate, the cadence, the workflows, everything can be optimized. It can be so much faster, right? And then instead of trying to grow harder, I start growing smarter. So that could be, a night and day change right here. This option, listen, hiring a consultant, this option, it just doesn't grow my brand outwardly. It strengthens me and my brand internally. So That's dope, right? Like knowing that you're developing from the inside, that can be a game changer right here. So here's my thinking, and I'm gonna wrap this up. Here's my thinking, and I'm gonna share my thinking. You let me know. So here's where my head is at. YouTube, I know this much. YouTube, let me make sure my head, speaking of head, that I haven't blown up my head. Okay, so here's my thinking right here. YouTube is going to build the long-term authority for me. I know that much because I shared that with you. The landing page is going to build immediate revenue for me. Like we're talking about, it's 4 to 6 week build time, and then right after that, I can start seeing my landing page start paying off. And then a consultant, if I hire a consultant, it's going to build me internal. It's going to build my internal leverage, right? So my gut says this. My gut says I need to fix the leaks before pouring water in. But my ambition says build authority before my competitors do. So you've been there as a business owner, right? You're thinking, man, my dollars and cents, my checkings and savings ain't the same. So I got these business decisions. Which one am I going to go with first? Man, my gut is saying fix the broken shit, Pat. But then my ambition said, let's go. We got competitors on our foot-tail trying to do what we're doing. Let's make it happen. Let's lean into this, Pat. And then my operational brain says, I'm the bottleneck. I need to remove myself. That's what operation is telling myself. So now the real strategic question becomes, what constraints are most limiting right now for me? Is it distribution? Is it conversion? Or is it capacity? Because we all know that growth doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from solving the biggest constraint. So I'm asking you this. Here's my question. All this talk, 25, 26 minutes later, here's the question. If you were me, this was your business, where would you invest your money? Would it be in YouTube, that long-term dominance play? And we talked about this. It can be $4,000 to $9,000 just for 3 months, and it could take up to 12 months before we see a return on investment, right? And the landing page and the funnel optimization, that's going to cost me about $6,000, right? It's going to take me a 4 to 6 week build, okay? Or a consultant. Hiring a consultant is probably going to take me somewhere around the same price, so about $5,000. Over a 6 month period, probably between 6 to 15,000. This is meaning hire somebody to do all the shit that you don't want to do, right? All the repetitive tasks that you've been doing, right? I can hire somebody to do that. So at this point, I'm not asking for engagement. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking for a real capital decision here. So pop in right now. I got a few minutes before I close this thing out. Where should I invest the money? I only have so much money. I have to make one of these decisions. I'm going to make this decision hopefully by the end of this week. Am I going to invest in YouTube for that long-term dominance? Am I going to invest in a landing page and a funnel that's going to help optimize my sales conversions, which I can see a high return on investment within, let's just say 2 months? Or should I go with a consultant that can help me reduce some of the redundancy so I can improve internally, so I can get better at generating revenue-based activities? Which one are you deciding? Y'all let me know right now. I need to know. Tap in. Let me know. What are you deciding? Sometimes, listen, I know this. Sometimes the smartest decision isn't the flashiest decision. I see you, TikTok family. Thank you. TikTok says a consultant, a landing page. You said it. Come on. You can't say both, Tasha. I need one. You can't say both. You already confusing me. Is it a consultant or a landing page? Tap in. Let me know. Instagram, let me know. Which one am I investing in? YouTube, let me know. LinkedIn, let me know. Which one am I investing in? YouTube, landing page, or consultant? My checkings and savings ain't checking and saving like everybody else. I'm growing this $1 million business. I've already invested in an Instagram coach. I spent $11,000 on an Instagram coach. When I started the year, I told myself I got $20,000 to invest in my business, right? That's before I started making money, right? And if I make more money, I'm going to return and put it back in the business. Tasha, you doing the landing page? Tasha says the landing page, okay? Tasha's on the landing page. I got one vote for landing page. So if we're looking at my $20,000, right, I've already spent 11 on a landing page. 11. I only had $9,000 to work with. I have to spend that $9,000 in one of these areas. This is going to be YouTube long form dominance. It's going to be a long-term play. Could take 12 months. You're doing the landing page. I appreciate you, TikTok. Or I'm going to do the, YouTube, the landing page, or consultant. Which one am I doing? Y'all let me know. Tap in. Let me know. I need your help. I'm going to spend this money hopefully this week, or make a decision hopefully this week. And then what's going to happen, the decision that you help me make right now is going to determine our success over the next 3 to 6 months, more likely 6 months. So as we continue to do this, we're going to come back to this episode 33 and say, you know what? You told me to do this. And then this is the return. We have to live with that as a business owner. So what are we living with? YouTube investment. We're going to live with a consultant or a landing page. I like all three. Honestly, I like all three. It's just the timing. What's going to generate the quickest return for me or the best value for my business as I grow this thing out to $1 million and 50,000 subscribers in 2026. Y'all let me know. One more time before we leave. After the landing page, I do a consultant. Okay, I like that, Tasha. After the landing page, you do a consultant. No YouTube though. Like, we know money's in YouTube. Like YouTube, once you get YouTube right, the money that you get from YouTube, man, that can be a game changer. It really, really could. But that also means, like anybody else, you're creating tons of content, and then you still continue to pay for a coach, and you still continue to pay for optimization, and you're still continue to pay for an editor. But it can all offset. YouTube does take a long time. I do understand that. But remember, we're building a growth system right here. We're building $1 million playbook. This ain't money just for today. This is money that's going to expand us for 2026, 2027, 2028, and beyond. Once we establish the right framework today, our whole business grows exponentially. And then our brand begins to shine quite bright. So YouTube, right now I got landing page. I got YouTube coming in second. So I don't know. I'm confused at this point. Anybody else? Listen, we're right at time. Landing page is what I'm getting right now. Landing page is what I'm getting. That means that's going to be a $6,000 investment that I have to make this week, in addition to the $11,000 I paid for a coach. Now, I just started the Instagram coach, meaning, so you haven't seen anything. That's why I kind of been offline, because I wanted to come up with a clear strategy for 2026 so I can show you how we're going to get to $1 million. Now I think I got my strategy together. So now behind the scenes working on my homework so I can begin creating content to drive the engine so we can grow here in 2026. Listen, family, this has been episode 33. I appreciate your time, your attention, and the love, as well as your input. Come back tomorrow, noon Central Standard Time. The only 30-minute episodes. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, sign up for that newsletter ASAP. We're growing that baby to 50,000 members. We're also generating $1 million in revenue here in 2026. The other thing too, the other call to action, invite other like-minded individuals like yourself who are interested in growing a wealth system for themselves. We do this every day, noon Central Standard Time. And then lastly, go to my YouTube page. I created a playlist called Building $1 Million Business. You can watch the previous other 32 episodes. They're free right now. I can't guarantee how long they're going to be there, but go check those out. Listen, family, I appreciate you. You said use AI for the landing page. It'll cut the cost. Yeah, but it ain't professional though. Like a real professional landing page, it does so many different things. AI can only do so much, but I need to make sure not only my brand voice is there, the funnels, like it's hard to explain, but the value is there. I've tried the AI thing. I would say that, and you got to get your voice just right. You got to get and it takes some time. I'm not saying that I don't have the time. I'm just saying where's the most value for my particular time right there. Yeah, I can do it. Oh, come on, Tasha. I appreciate the look. I got one strong believer. I appreciate you. I appreciate the love, family. The fact that you believe in me gave me some extra energy and strength today that I'm going to push forward. I'm going to make a business decision, and then I'll let y'all know the decision that I made. But thank y'all for joining me. Until tomorrow, I'll see you hustlers. Let's keep getting it. See you then.